What's up guys, this is Rajpur here. Today I'll actually be talking about several things, okay? Sparring in Aikido, learning how to deal with resistance, using it in a real fight, and along with that, I'll be explaining and talking about these few things in details, okay? Now, a bit of history. I took Aikido in 2012, and I took it around mid-April. And throughout, my learning experience, I had many scuffles, and I've even sparred a few times. And this actually led me to ask the question on whether what I was doing was it practical enough to be able to defend myself in the street, or would it get me killed in the street? All right. So yeah, I mean, I got into many scuffles in school, and I found it really hard to apply whatever that was being taught against someone who was trying to really beat me up, someone who was trying to take me down, someone who was resisting. Okay, not someone who was like, okay, here's my hand, now do whatever technique. All right, not those kind of things. In fact, I remember I showed a technique to my friend. I said, hey, come on, grab my hand, I'll show you a technique. And I did this lock on him, and then he told another guy, and he said, hey, come on, show him the technique. And then he asked him to grab me, and he grabbed so tight. I was like, oh shit, I couldn't do it. Oh man, and anyway, I remember one time this guy was trying to take me down, and he had his hand over here like this. I grabbed him, I was trying to do a lock on him, and he was resisting. I was like, and guess what? He took me down to the floor and punched me in the face. Alright, that was stupid of me to do it. Even once, I remember I sparred with a friend. I think he did a bit of MMA. Alright, I tried to take him down, do a hip throw, so it was like this, but he was resisting, and so my back was facing him. He took me down with a bear hug, got me a rear naked choke, and that's it. He didn't choke me out. I tapped out. So and then I think another thing, I even tried to spar a few times. And man, I was really shocked the first time I actually sparred. All right, I remember I stupidly, I had my hands like this, and then he came up like this, and then bam, he just came up with a jab and uppercut, and he came with the combination, and I was like, I stupidly tried to grab his punch, and then bam, I got punched in the face. Okay, so throughout this whole experiences that I've had, I began to ask myself the questions like, how do I deal with the punch? How do I deal with the jab? How do I deal with the takedown? How do I deal with resistance? And even till this day, I'm actually trying to find the answers to these questions, because I've still not gotten a proper answer for these questions. Okay, so I just really made me ask myself like questions about the way I'm being taught. Like, why do we only deal with sword-based attacks? Why don't we deal with reality-based attacks? And the answers that I've got is that, because Aikido is a traditional art and all this crap. Another question that I've actually asked myself is, why isn't there sparring in Aikido? All right, because I believe Aikido is at the same level, is in the same category as Muay Thai, Karate, Jiu-Jitsu, Judo. All right, it is in the same family of martial arts. So with that being said, all right, why is it wrong to ask questions about combat? Why is it wrong to ask questions about sparring? So I asked one of my instructors once, I said, why is it a sparring in Aikido? And he told me that, because Aikido is based on a life and death situation, that's why we don't spar. And another instructor told me that, because the country that we're living in is a peaceful country, and Aikido is a peaceful martial art. That's why we never spar in Aikido. Aikido is about love and it's about peace. And to be honest, right now, I just feel like saying it's all bullshit, because through the sparring that I've had, I remember I actually sparred some Jiu-Jitsu guys, Japanese Jiu-Jitsu guys, and they just absolutely kicked my ass. Alright, especially when they're trying to grab your gi. I remember we struggled for a few times, and especially getting slammed on the mat. Alright, it sucked and it really hurt. And I was gassed out after like 2 rounds. We had the last 3 rounds. Alright, and to be honest, many things could not work. Alright, and there are many flaws within myself that I've discovered through sparring. Number one, I lack in stamina. Number two, I lack, you know, in conditioning. Number three, I lack in fitness. And number four, I've absolutely no experience or whatsoever in learning how to deal with someone who's resisting, and also someone who is skilled. Okay. So yeah, I just found out that there was a big flaw in a big hole, you could say, in the way I was being taught. I'm guessing that my goal is different from the others. To be honest, most people in my class come seem to be bothered about whether it works or whether it's practical. They're just all about, oh, sensei, come on, greet. Okay, now do this technique, pack up and go home. All right. I'm the only ones who seem to be asking these questions. All right. Not saying I'm better than anyone else. So yeah, man. I mean, this really made me question my training and do my own research. So, to be honest, after like 2 years of training, I've just kind of like made up my mind that, oh, you know, that what I'm being taught has nothing got to do with practicality. What I'm being taught has nothing got to do with combat or even fighting at all. It's just mainly an art, or it's just mainly a really traditional art. Now, I'm not dissing the art or anything. I'm just dissing the way people train. All right, or the way I'm being taught. I'm sorry. So I'm guessing it's my responsibility to go out there on the journey and seek out the answers on my own, and I cannot be relying on people to keep on giving me the answers, or I just cannot be confining myself within Aikido. So yeah, again, I'm not dissing the art. All right, I would never ever do that. Okay. So I'm guessing that's pretty much what I have for today, and I'm you know, a couple of things that I have in mind actually is to take up a striking based art, maybe something like Muay Thai, you know, where I'm actually gonna work on my conditioning, work on my fitness, work on throwing proper punches. All right, learning how to be aggressive, and learning how to be, yeah, you know, learning how to take a punch, learning how to throw a punch at the same time, and then maybe if I have that, and if I would have Aikido at the same time, I'll be able to understand how these two fit in together. Because really, judging from what I'm being taught, if I were to use it in an actual street fight, I would just get killed, man. All right, because we don't even learn anything that has to do with fighting. All right. So and also actually, I have a blog, I have a website that I've created, and the website in that website I have a blog, and I actually made a blog post about something similar. I put it in the description, and do check it out. Okay. So actually, that's what I have. Again, I'm not judging the art. I'm just giving mainly my own opinion. Okay. So that's what I have, and whatever art that you're training in, have fun, and see you guys in the next video.